Hello, I'm Jamie and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before. So a little bit about me. I am a Joint Honours Film and TV and English Literature student at Aberystwyth University, and this video is basically going to go over my decision to study at a smaller university compared to a larger Russell Group university. As all of the big study tubers on YouTube do go to big, high-profile competitive universities, which does make sense as you do need a bit more advice with going into them as they are, as I said, more competitive. However, I wanted to give a different perspective and show that these massive unis aren't the be-all and end-all, and that smaller unis can be very beneficial to you. So a little bit of background on me to start. I'm from a working class family in North Wales and I have always enjoyed school and learning. I achieved 4 A stars, 3 A's and 4 B's at GCSE, which I consider maybe a little bit above average, but not extraordinary, but I was really proud of them as I did work really hard. University was something that I've always wanted to do since I can remember, and because Wales has a law that you have to stay in education until you're 18, A-levels were a no-brainer for me as I needed them to go into university. So in A-levels I got an A in history, an A in biology, a B in English, an A star in the Welsh Baccalaureate and an A in AS Chemistry, which I'm incredibly proud of. They were very difficult and A-levels are tough. So because of my GCSE grades, when I was doing A-levels, I was put in something called the SEREN programme, which was to encourage students from Wales to apply to Oxbridge universities and other high Russell Group universities. So I went to a lot of events that pushed Oxbridge and Russell Group universities as the only universities to consider, that these were the only ones that would get you where you wanted to be. So when I was applying to universities, I only looked at Russell Group unis. I didn't look at any non-Russell Group as I thought that I was better than that because I had decent GCSE grades and were predicted decent A-level grades. I was also kind of influenced by the study tubers on YouTube, as they all seem to go to Oxford or Cambridge and they only really talk about Russell Group universities, which I don't have any hate against them. I love watching them, it's very interesting. But in my mind, non-Russell Group unis were seen as inadequate, which is just not the case. I kind of struggled to decide what I wanted to study at university, and after a lot of thinking and changing my mind, I eventually decided on doing what I am doing now, Joint Honours degree in Film Studies and English Literature. This, however, put me in a little bit of a difficult situation as I really wanted a practical element to the film side. I wanted to learn how to use cameras, how to direct, how to edit, and most Russell Group unis that offer film studies don't offer the practical part, and they only focus on the theoretical and academic side of film studies, which is important and I do want to learn about that as well, but I also wanted that practical element. This then made me look at non-Russell Group unis. In the end, I applied to the University of Manchester, University of Bristol, Aberystwyth University and Bangor University. I only applied to 4 instead of 5 because I genuinely couldn't find a 5th that I really liked. I got offers from Aberystwyth and Bangor fairly quickly, and I got offered to take scholarship exams for them because obviously my grades were higher than what they were asking. I then got an offer from the University of Manchester after having to submit an essay. This was when I was kind of first put off by Manchester. I love the city and I do love the university, but when I applied there wasn't really any information about what the essay would be about. There was a indication on the English side of the degree that there might be an essay having to submit, but on the film side there was nothing, absolutely nothing whatsoever. And I ended up getting an email in January, I want to say, because I applied early in November. January, basically saying that I have to do an essay on a film that's inspired me to study film studies, and I had 3 days to do it, and it was quite a substantial essay. I think it was between 1,500 and 2,000 words, so it was a fairly big essay. The email was the email was very unofficial. It was obviously just a lecturer typing email, sending it. It didn't go through UCAS, it didn't go through official university email. It seemed kind of unprofessional, but I was like, fine, I'll do the essay, and I did get an offer from it, which I was really happy with because I did put a lot of effort into that. Then I went to the applicant day and came to the realisation that the main lecturer in the film department has absolutely no experience in the media industry whatsoever, and that this degree would be completely theoretical, which there wasn't really much information online about it. They might have changed that now, but when I was applying there wasn't much information about what modules we were doing. They also only had one graduate that they could name who ended up winning an award in a film festival. So that was the only graduate that had direct links to the industry, which I was a bit put off by, as I want to go into industry, I need a degree that will get me there. Like, obviously Manchester has a great alumni, they have loads of people in the media industries that have been to Manchester, but not through that course, if that makes sense. Bristol was the only other Russell Group university I applied for, and I genuinely did love the sound of the degree. It was the only degree from Russell Group that I really liked every aspect to it. The only issue was that there was only 15 places on the course, which is insane, and I was essentially waitlisted. Around March, when you have to accept your offers, I think it got to like 3 days before the deadline, and I had emailed before and been like, you know, when am I going to find out? Am I going to find out before the deadline? Because they can extend their deadline, but I had to accept my offers. So I basically accepted Aberystwyth, and it was going to be a close call between them because I genuinely did love both of them. I ended up getting 2 scholarships for Aberystwyth University, one for doing a scholarship test and then 2 for my A-levels. I got the Academic Excellence Scholarship, which sounds so pretentious, but I got 2 scholarships, and I didn't want to not accept by the deadline. This isn't just the Aberystwyth University deadline, this is the official UCAS deadline. I didn't want to potentially lose my place there to then not get a place in Bristol, and then not go into university and have to go through clearing. I didn't want that to happen, which I think is quite unprofessional, not giving offers out before the deadline. I just think it was quite annoying, and there's probably reasons. They might have had, I don't know, I'd rather just known beforehand. So the reason I chose Aberystwyth was mainly because of how high the student satisfaction was. It was and still is one of the highest in the country, which is amazing, and I could tell from my first interactions with the staff that they actually cared about us individually rather than just our grades. When I got my offer, I got a handwritten postcard from my personal tutor saying how excited he was to teach me. I really got the feeling that they saw us as valuable and that they were lucky to have us choose them, rather than we should be thankful for the uni for thinking that we were worthy enough to be taught by them, which is kind of the vibe I get from Russell Group unis. Obviously I do appreciate every opportunity the uni has given me, but I'm more appreciative of the fact that they value our criticism and our feedback. For every module we do, we take an MEQ, which is the Module Evaluation Questionnaire, which, if the satisfaction is below a certain amount, the coordinator of that module has to respond and address everything that went wrong and tell us what they're going to do for next year to improve, which is really great. It feels like they actually really value our feedback. Also, throughout the pandemic, we've been given multiple surveys, firstly asking what they wanted us to do for this year, whether we wanted blended, whether we wanted just online, whether we wanted a change in the timetable so that we could go to university later or on the weekends. You know, really good. Whether we were okay with wearing masks in the uni, lots of different things. They asked us everything, which was really, really great. Most recently, we've been given the opportunity to give feedback on how they're approaching blended learning, which is really, really great. And this is something that I have seen criticised at other bigger universities. I know for a fact that Oxbridge don't do MEQs, which I feel like, I heard that was a student's choice, but I still feel like that's a bit bad. They probably have other ways of giving feedback, but the MEQs are regulated, they're anonymous. There's no fear of people being upset at your opinion. You just give your feedback and they will improve on it, or they will address it if it needs to be addressed. Another criticism of Russell Group unis that I've heard from actual Russell Group students is that despite the fact they get tons more funding than my university, is that their technology isn't great, or it seems kind of inadequate compared to what we have. So even before the pandemic in Aberystwyth, every lecture was recorded and then put online, so people who couldn't come to the lecture for health reasons or for whatever reason, they could go back and watch it and still get the same education as everybody else. So it's really important for people who have long-lasting illnesses or disabilities or whatever, mental health issues that means they can't come in, they can still get the education that they're paying for. It also means that if I want to go back and listen to my lectures again, take more extensive notes, then I can do that, and that I don't have to worry about an illness making me miss out on my education. So I think that's really, really great. And this means that we were able to adapt quite quickly to the pandemic. I've also heard a lot of complaints from all universities, not just Russell Group, all universities, about blended learning, which is supposed to be a mix of in-person and online. And students were told that we would get blended learning, and then when we turn up to uni, pay our rent, pay our tuition, they then say, no, it's actually just going to be online, which is really, really, really bad because it's tricking people. It just shows how all they care about is money, which is just, it's not good. Not a good look. Except for the first week here where we were told that it had to be online, which was for issues with the council. We do have half of our contact hours in person. However, if we decide that we don't want to go to that in-person class, whether that be for just we've got illness, we can't get there because of travel, like people are stuck in other countries, or we just don't feel comfortable with going in class at this time, all our in-person classes go live on Microsoft Teams. So if you can't attend, you just tune in through your laptop, which is brilliant. And my sister goes to, I'm not going to say what university, but she goes to a different university, and she at the moment doesn't feel comfortable going in because the city that she's going into is really, really bad, and she doesn't feel comfortable going in. And she's been told by 2 of her lecturers, yep, that's fine, we'll put the lecture up online for you. But one of her lecturers has told her, well, you're just going to miss it because I'm only doing in person. And what if she's actually ill? Like, if she can't actually go into lectures, so it's just screw it, well, you can't do your lesson, you can't get your degree then. Obviously, this isn't to say that all Russell Group unis don't care about their students or that ABBA is perfect, because frankly, no university is perfect. And just a little disclaimer, I don't hate Russell Group unis, I'm not jealous, I didn't go to one, I chose not to go to them. And I am applying for master's courses, and I will be applying to Russell Group unis. And I just wanted this to show that just because you aren't going to one, it doesn't mean your education isn't bad, and it doesn't mean that you are less smart than others, or that you aren't going to get a better career because you don't go to Russell Group, because that's just simply not the case. Also, please don't dismiss non-Russell Group unis as bad, because in fact a lot of them do rank higher in the league tables than many Russell Group universities and are consistently rising every year. And for certain subjects, non-Russell Group unis are the best option for you. Also, if you're applying to university this year, I will definitely look at the individual response from each university to the pandemic and their treatment of students, because it has really brought to light a lot of issues, and it will be exactly what I'm doing when I'm applying to masters. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's given you a bit of information and a bit more confidence in applying to university, because it is a bit stressful when everyone's telling you to apply to universities just because of their name and their reputation, when in fact it might not be the best option for you. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.